Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. I have my 2016 Pan That Palette finale and then my 1 month 1 palette finale as well, which wasn't actually a palette. I was using my singles, and I'll start off with that. I used up some singles, well, I didn't use them up, but I was using them and enjoying them this past month in conjunction with my Pan That palette. And the first shadow that I was using and I really had fun with was the Stila Kitten. That'll stay in my collection, as well as the Laura Mercier Duo in Sandstone and Cognac. Very pretty. I think I like Sandstone a little bit better. This one seems to kind of fade away when I work on blending it, but I still enjoy it, and I can use it to like set my liner, and it kind of has this duochromia effect because it's a very pretty kind of ambery brown color, but then it also has a little shimmer in there. So it is a pretty color. I'll keep that duo. I used this twice, which I was really happy about because I don't usually reach for this duo. It's the Bare Minerals, the Flashback with Deja Vu, which is this pretty silvery blue, light blue color, and then Amnesia, and I used this twice, this one right here. And I actually did a look once with both the shadows and it turned out really well. I like the formula, especially of this one. I will be keeping this duo in my collection. The ColourPop Super Shock shadow in Dad. I feel like I'm whistling when I say that. The ColourPop Super Shock shadow in Daddy, and that's what it looks like in the pan. And there's a swatch right there. The Stila Magnificent Metals Vintage Black Gold eyeshadow. This is a very glittery but very pretty eyeshadow. That's what it looks like in the container. And then there's a swatch right there. And I wore this when I went out to a double date with my husband and then some of our friends, and I thought it was really fun. And actually John commented, he was like, oh, that looks really cool on the eyes. I need to wear that more. And the last shadow is my MAC shadow in the color Kid. Love this shadow. I'm definitely keeping it in my collection. I enjoyed all these shadows, so I'm going to keep them. This was my 1 month 1 palette for December. I wanted to get some good use out of my single shadows, so those were the ones I was working on. On to my Pan That palette, which was the Guerlain 6-pan palette. I hit both of my goals that I set in December, or actually the end of November. I hit both the goals in the last month, which were to use up, this is Urban Decay Sin, and I did substitute this shadow. If you're new and you haven't seen me talk about this palette before, this is my Guerlain 6-pan palette, but I replaced one of the shadows with Urban Decay Sin that I had depotted from another palette. And I have a lot of progress. I'll show you a close-up or some pictures so that you can see. I did hit pan where I wanted to on the side there, as well as I hit top pan or bottom pan, depending on which way I have the palette. It would be bottom pan if I'm looking at it this way, which is how I would apply the shadows. But with this shadow here, which was the Guerlain shadow, it's like this gray, light gray, medium to light gray with pink shimmer and pink glitter in it, but you don't see the pink glitter when you put it on. And there's the Guerlain right there. That shadow I was working on. I actually wore it in my brows quite a bit this past month, and that's how I was able to get so much progress on that. And I would just use my angled brush and dip it in, dip it in, dip it in, and then apply it to my brows as well as my outer corner. So definitely used that quite a bit. I wasn't trying to hit pan on these Makeup Geek shadows right here. I just put them in the palette so that I could easily reach for these colors and then use them with my Guerlain. So this is my finale. I'm very happy with the progress. I wasn't trying to use up like every last little bit of the shadow. For me, I wanted to use my Pan That palette, which was hitting pan, using as much as I can, but also doing the 1 month 1 palette and getting some rotation in with some of my other shadows. Thank you all so much for watching my Pan That palette 2016 and cheering me on, and for your encouragement. It really means so much to me. Giving thumbs up, that kind of stuff really helps a YouTuber out and helps them to know to keep creating that type of content. And for 2017, I'm still brainstorming, but I have an idea of the palette that I want to use, and I will have a video up probably later in the month. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break so that I can reach for whatever shadow I want and just kind of enjoy it for a couple of weeks. But I will have something up for 2017 really soon. I'm trying to think, oh, let me know if you did this challenge, Pan That palette 2016, how you did in the comments, or if you're doing it on Instagram, let me know your Instagram name so that I can go check out your progress for last year's Pan That palette. Sorry this last little bit is so long, but I will include some pictures so that you can see, and thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye. Gavin lost his second tooth today, and I want to show you guys a picture because I'm so proud of him. He didn't rip it out. He's been eating apples and trying to get this tooth out, but here's a picture. He's holding it in a little bag. There he is. Very exciting for a mom, you know, little small victories, small things. To see you really soon.